Wall of people trophies. Most of the head tape. You enjoying your kids over there?
Hi, Bobby.
Don Field, two children. And my better half, Jerry Ellis. Wally and his wife. So sneak up on them, they won't know it. More East Coasters there. There's Dean. I don't know where she's sitting, but there she is.
Make a copy of this tape and send it to Rich Case. He would be very grateful if you would do that.
Hello, Robin.
Howdy. Say hi to Rich and Lois. No, say it. Rich.
Hello, Robin.
Rich.
Oh, Rich.
Rich Case.
Hi, Rich. Hi, Lois. Hi, Rich and Lois.
Hi, Rich and Lois. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Case.
There you go. We're just roaming around here. Do you have many faces you can pick out? Don't run away, Barbara. Smile.
This is a wonderful meal. You met Virginia, your husband, from Georgia. Right next to Homer and Marie Lineberry. And we have some other people here that haven't met yet.
Yeah. Okay.
I've only got about 70,000.
More members here. Anderson? Really? Back where we started from.
Half the bottoms here, audience in the corner. He wants a professional prayer. Before I begin, though, I want to share something with you. When I was restoring my car, I found some of the goodies that had been given to me in the cubbyhole that was out of the car. And here's a little plaque from July 16, 17, 18, 1965, Annual Concourse, Natural Bridge, Virginia. And apparently, when I joined the club in 1967, they sent all new members this little plaque. So I was glad. If anybody wants to see it who hasn't seen it, you're welcome. Okay, let us pray.
Audience here, and I think at 25 bucks a head, you know, there's a lot of captivity here. But anyway, I'll keep my speeches as short as possible, an hour ought to do it. But anyway, and as we approach the end of this 94 National, you should also keep in mind that we are approaching the end of our 31st Annual National Meet of the Airflow Club of America. Hard to realize it, but for 30 years now, airflow enthusiasts have been coming in from all over the United States, and our friends from Canada, and on occasions we have people coming in from overseas to sort of pay homage to this beautifully designed, beautifully engineered, and historically important car that we call an airplane. Ruth and I have been personally involved in these nationals maybe for the last 12 or 15 years, and I must confess that time has gone by that we haven't enjoyed ourselves immensely. But you know, someplace along the line we began to understand that our enjoyment came at the expense of somebody else's work and word. So when we were asked by the Western region to host this meet in Seattle, we sort of reluctantly said yes. And probably from a sense of guilt more than anything else. But we had a couple rather major concerns, and surely one was this. I spoke to the Western regional about this. How in the world are we going to attract enough automobiles and enough people up to this rather remote part of the United States to have a successful meet, however you define a successful meet? And, you know, people like Jim and Paula and Bill Gordon, John Livingak says, you people go ahead and put it together, Ruth and I think I speak for the other members of the planning committee, as Wally and Joyce, and Kit, Sherry, Frank, and Sandy, in saying that we truly are pleased at your support. Festive occasions, but you know, at this time, there's a certain amount of sadness that comes into it also, because particularly for those people that have been attending these things regularly, you know, you've made some very fast and enduring friendships. But there's no guarantee that these friends will be your next door neighbors or even people within commuting distance. Chances are pretty good that they'll live 2,000 miles away. So beginning tomorrow morning, you will be homeward bound and say goodbye to your friends. And chances are very good you'll not see them at least for another year. And we know that because of health problems of one kind or another, the possibility is that you may never see them again. I have a little addition to that. I received a telephone call from our longtime member and friend, one of the greatest guys in the world, Harry Thomas. And Harry is now 84 years old. His wife is severely ill. And Harry would just have loved to be here tonight, but health reasons prevent it. And I received a letter from Pearl Hutchins, Charles Hutchins' wife, of course, and they live in Missouri. By the way, Harry is in Pennsylvania, isn't he, Harry Thomas? I think so.
Yeah.
And they live in Missouri, and now Charles Hutchins is suffering from some problems that would not allow him to come. And but his wife wrote the letter and wanted everybody to know that they have enjoyed the club, and again, they're very, very sorry that they can't be here. So, you know, these things do happen. Well, I didn't intend to dwell on the morbid here. There is a bright side to this whole thing, that when this thing is all over with, you won't have to listen to my drivel anymore.
A national meet of the air flowers. It was back in 1982 at Idaho that we had our first performance. We didn't sing that time. We just made fun of all the wretchedness of driving so damn far in such an old, unair-conditioned car with so many kids in the back seat to this meet. The purpose of which was to judge the cars. Well, I had been going to meet since 1968. And this is my 20th meet about, or 27th, I'm not sure. It's been a long time. Anyway, there was a meet in Illinois, and they had enough money to ask somebody to come in and perform. So they did, and they had these 4 men singing about the Old Mill Stream. And I asked the person that ran the meet why we were paying for that. He said, we have to entertain people. Well, it seemed to me it had nothing to do with old cars, particularly the airflow. So I started to make songs up about this car that was causing me pain. At least I was singing those bad songs for years. Now, lately, just in the last couple of years, we have a songwriter that sings love songs, this car. And you're going to hear tonight some of both. The people that have written have been, besides myself, Jim Hazelwood, Bob Schofield, David Schultz, Ed Schnell, and Ed Patterson. This group is full of talent. I hope that more people will write some songs, not particularly love songs, to this car or about this meet. And we also need, for our next group, a piano player. So see if you can find one of those that would come to our meet and help us with this performance. Now, here we are. We're starting with Paula Lightfoot, who's going to be our announcer. And from her shirt, you can see the name of our performance tonight. Yeah.
I wonder if other people are having trouble sleeping.
All right, we have 2 songs that are written by our members, Jim Hazelwood and Bob Schofield, and we'd like to start off with a group sing. So we passed out the words to the first song, and it really is If I Had an Earflow. We have a typo up there at the top. And we just love to have you all sing in with us. It's kind of a tradition. Somebody get the hand started now? If I had an airflow, I'd drive it in the morning, I'd drive it in the evening, all over this land. I'd drive it to Kansas, I'd drive it to Seattle, I'd drive it to the east, the west, the north, the south, all over this land. If I had a horn, I'd honk it in the morning, I'd honk it in the evening, all over this land. I'd honk it to Kansas, I'd honk it to Seattle, I'd honk it to the east, the west, the north, the south, all over this land. If I had a hot cat, I'd shine it in the morning, I'd shine it in the evening, all over this land. I'd shine it in Kansas, I'd shine it to Seattle, I'd shine it to the east, the west, the north, the south, all over this land. Now I have their road, I drive it in the morning, I drive it in the evening, all over this land. I drive to Kansas, I drive to Seattle, I drive to the east, the west, the north, the south, all over this land.
Larry, you're on.
I'm here in Seattle, but can't get to sleep. Tomorrow's a big day, makes me wanna weep. For I'm driving home in one hell of a car. Oh, listen to this, don't run to the bar. My sweet old airflow, the C-17, just got a trophy, it's much of a queen. I'll place that trophy upon the dash, that wonderful trophy, it's better than cash. I'm so full of pride, quivering with delight, don't know how I'll get through this wonderful night. Thank you.
We have a new apprentice with us this year. Bernice Verhaeg from Michigan is here, and she's our next solo.
Yay, Bernice!
I'm here in Seattle. I can't go to sleep. Well, that's not the purpose of this airflow meet. We've got to tell tales of our wondrous car. We've got to brag about driving this car, flying this car. The people arrive from the east, south, and west. They're having big talking, fast mess. We look for our pals, Jim, Ben, and Bill. They always have stories and jokes that can kill. On the parking lot are the motor kids. They're talking cars when they should be in bed with their women. Driving inside with their flow. Can't see too much.
is that airflow in the window? The one with the shiny grill. Oh, see, this sleep lands on that airflow. To have one would be a great thrill. I must take a trip to Seattle to greet all the airflows there. If I have an airflow, I could go and save all that expensive airfare. How much is that airflow in the window? The one with the shiny grill. Oh, see the sleek lines on that airflow. To have one would be a great thrill. I read in the paper there are bargains. Fords and Chevrolets and Hudsons galore. But I want an airflow to ride in. To take 6 people instead of just 4. How much is that airflow in the window? The one with the shiny grill. Oh, see the slick lines on that airflow. To have one would be a great thrill. I don't want a Lincoln or a Caddy. I don't want to bump, bounce, and slide. I just want an airflow so badly to drive everywhere with such great pride. How much is that airflow in the window? The one with the shiny grill. Oh, see the sleek lines on that airflow. To have one would be a great thrill.
From Illinois. They ask me how it blew, broke it clear in two. I, of course, replied, there's something there inside, seemed to be too wide. They said someday you'll a transmission line keeps back on the go, even very slow, pushing from behind. So I'm trapped. I think this awful gap is something I can't deal with. But yet today I heard some people say I could repair this mess. Now, good advice aside, tears I cannot hide. When the engine blew, I was really through. Just glad I saved my hide. By popular demand is Jim Lightfoot singing Ghost Riders in the Sky, and the words are written by David Schultz.
An old airflow came rolling out one dark and windy day, with 6-volt lights ablazing as it went along its way. It cut right through that mighty wind, left other cars behind, her tailpipe snorting fire as you hear that engine whine. Look at her go, look at her go. She's not just a car, she's airflow. With perfect lines and velvet ride and body built of steel. No other car can give you satisfaction at the wheel. The one that makes me turn your head, she'll never let you down. With loving care and lots of pride, she'll still get you around. Look at her go. Look at her go. She's not just a car, she's airflow. The critics then the junkyard tried to take my flow away. When she was born they said she'd be an orphan car to stay. They turned their backs and laughed at her as she would pass them by. Now generations later, you can hear this wishful cry. Look at her go, look at her go. She's not just a car, she's airflow.
By request, we have a repeat performance from Kansas. David Schultz and Carol Williams are going to sing I'll Own an Airflow. Someday I'll own an airflow. That's my dream. I'm so tired of driving my Chrysler 8 Airstream. I'm not into mechanics. I love style. When I see other airflows, people that pass just smile. I love the lines, I love the grill. I know that it will be a thrill to drive one. And so I'm saving every dime and working lots of overtime so I can buy one. Someday I'll own an airflow. Wait and see. Someday you'll own an airflow, the car that made history. If only special people own the futuristic airflow. Why, oh, why can't I? Next, Carol Williams and Jim Lightfoot will sing.
Bittersweet, so are we, and we with their airflows. They don't mind that I tell them all my problems. They always lend a hand to help me solve them. They're friends I cannot find, filled my heart with love and pride. To their flows we ride.
David Schultz as the miles go by.
Thank you. You must remember this. Seattle I won't miss. My airflow I must ride. I'm picking up my coast to coast as miles go by. And every town I stop, people's jaws just drop. They can't believe their eyes. I bring them back into the 30s as miles go by. Leaded or unleaded, I don't really care. I just check my oil, I know I'll get there. I love my airflow and I'm bringing her to share. And this I can't deny. It's still the same old story. I'm driving her for glory. I cannot tell a lie. I'm cherishing my time in my airflow as miles go by. Thank you.
again. Back to Seattle again with David, Jim, and Carol. Doesn't everybody want to be back in Seattle again?
And this is dedicated.
With David, Jim, and Carol?
This is dedicated to all the people that were so nice and hospitable to us here. I'm back in Seattle.
Okay. I'm back in Seattle again.
Up where a friend is a friend. In my airflow I did ride as I drove here with pride. Back to Seattle again. Looking for friends that I know. Faces I know. Waiting to see who will show. A few of them are late. Let's just hope they make it safe. Back to Seattle again. Whoopee-hi-hi-oh, I was rocking to and fro. Back to Seattle again. Whoopee-hi-hi-hey, I went my way. Back to Seattle again.
Okay, we're ready to close now, so let's have everybody stand up, and you've got words for Edelweiss at your table, and it's our closing song. And we again want to thank everybody for doing this.
Didn't want to be judges, so we had 6 normal judges, and the rest of these people are volunteers. You can believe that. Brand new judges who wanted to figure out how we do this. And Mr. Seeley kind of bowed out because he was busy. And he had known I was going to pay each one of these judges, he probably would have wanted to have been a judge also.
All that hard work paid off. All that hard work paid off. $4, $3? Inflation.
You are dismissed. Thank you.
For some of you new members that haven't heard the story, Harold has driven that airflow. Harold and Millie have taken that airflow to, I believe, 23, is it now, Harold? Or is this 24?
23.
This is to the 23rd national meet that they have attended. And if you see the stars on the front of their Coast to Coast award on that car, that is truly awesome. Congratulations, Harold. Congratulations, Millie. Okay, first place in 1937, C-17, Ben Payne. Congratulations, Ben. Two of you have heard some of the stories coming out of Southern California. This is one of the cars that still has a couple of little dings there. We had a little bit of a tremor, some kind of a shake that went on early morning of the 17th of January. This one had a bicycle fall on it and a bunch of other stuff, but Ben's getting it back in shape. Thanks very much and congratulations, Ben. 1936, second place, Jim and Paula Lightfoot. Paula, could you go up and collect this award? Thanks very much for that. This is another one of the cars that had a little bit of a problem. I've told several of you, but in case I missed the story, this one had aluminum cylinder. It had clipped the left front fender on its way down to the floor that same night that Ben's had a little problem with the bicycle. So we got it all put back together. It still needs to have a repaint on that left front fender one more time, but we're getting there. Okay, first place, 1936, Tom McKay. And a C9 coupe. That is beautiful. Congratulations, Tom. '35 or next. And this car, you know, I haven't seen this car in a long, long time, and it just looks very, very nice. Kit Carson, second place, 1935 for your C1. In first place, 1935. These people are new members of the club. This is their first national meet, and Gordon and William Cusick, first place, 1935. Right. David Schultz wants everyone to know that's a DeSoto out there. Gordon and Lillian had this car as the transportation for a wedding here. What was that, about a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago, and they didn't realize that the thing wasn't charging. And those of you who attended the business meeting, we had some comments at the end of it about how good this new battery system is. It ran for 2.5 days on the battery.
Well, it ran for 30 miles with the electric fuel pump.
In any case, congratulations, and we're just pleased to see that car coming back. Okay, 1934, second place. Okay, I have an announcement to make on the last two, Rick and Gordon. Our photographer missed your pictures. He's reloading the camera, so after we get done, we'd like to have you back up there with Don, if you would, please. And also the next one's here. It'll take a few minutes for him to reload.
Joyce ran out to the car to get the film. I thought I had 36 shots on the thing. It was only 24.
In 1934, first place. Let's go ahead with these so that people can keep moving with it. This particular car is just an absolutely incredibly well-preserved car. Jim Racebeck in a 1934 SE DeSoto.
Hey, Jim.
And Jim had to leave just a little bit ago. All right, Don, you will have to present that to him. But that car is just absolutely incredible. If you didn't have a chance to take a look at the interior of the car, this is a real treat. This is the kind of thing that is very important for this club, to have cars that are absolutely original, unrestored, to be here so that we can see what our cars, as we restore them, are supposed to look like. Because a lot of the cars that we get are you know, we've had people that have done things to them that we don't really know if it's correct or not. This is the kind of thing, this sets the standard, and we can see what it really should look like, and that's what we can strive for. So our congratulations and absentia to Jim Raisbeck. All right. Now we do have one, Don, that you can collect. First place Senior Award, Don Seeley, 1934 CB. Congratulations, Don. I remember seeing this car for the first time in McCall, Idaho. I didn't really know Don Seeley at that time, and a number of us didn't know him very well. He had come to our meet in Claremont, so we got a chance to meet him. We at least knew who he was, didn't know what he could do. And you should have heard the oohs and ahs the first time anybody saw that car. That's special.
Too much oil.
Okay, long distance award, Harold Irwin. Congratulations, Harold and Miller. We've already told you what kind of transportation feast that Harold has with that car. He's just rebuilt the engine this past year, and it looks like it's going to be set for the next,
Just got it overhauled, it's running good now.
Okay, we expect to see that at next year's National. Long distance member. And this goes to Cecil and Virginia Brown from Georgia. Cecil and Virginia. Congratulations. The next, you didn't tell me about these things, you know, ahead of time, Don. The next award is for the best toy collection here. And Paula, could you go up and collect this? Again, I'm a little embarrassed about this, but it's definitely not the best toy collection in the membership. It's just the best one here. But thank you very, very much. I think the best part of that, in a way, is the box that it's in. My son built that in a woodshop class 2 years ago, and trying to figure out what kind of a project he could build, and I'm not sure. I think, Paula, you suggested that. What was Dad like? Boy, did I appreciate that. Okay, the Hard Luck Award, is that on here? Yes. Okay, next is the Hard Luck Award, and this one was a committee assignment here between the chief judge and his advisors. We feel that probably the appropriate recipient of this would be someone who actually had an axle brake on the way up, Bill Short. I remember that I've heard these stories. This is the first time I've ever actually seen a broken axle. Bill brought it along, but we've been told for years, you know, you really ought to carry one of these things along, and this sort of proves that was the case. How many of you have a spare axle? Bill Short has a spare axle. And
You don't have one now?
no, he doesn't have a spare anymore. Okay, I will do that. Anyway, between Bill and Larry Jennings, who was driving the car, they managed to get it back into Coos Bay and found a mechanic that could actually work on the darn thing, pull the old axle out, put the new one in. But that wasn't the end of the story by a long shot. They drove, what, about 10 miles, and Larry got out and checked the hub and couldn't pull his hand against the wheel. It was so darn hot. So apparently there was not enough play and not enough space for that bearing. And they sort of wait for about 20 minutes till it cooled, then go for about another 10 miles, and then wait for another 20 minutes to cool it. Went about 100 miles, finally got into Eugene, and found another mechanic, and were able to put some shims in the thing and give it a little bit of space, a little breathing room, greased it up, and it's working fine. So that's sort of the story for the night on how do you take care of them, what all happens. Okay, we do have a special award here. In a way, this is the elite award that this group presents. This is an award that's given to the car. We have the Coast to Coast Award. The first award for this particular car and driver, David Schultz. Congratulations. For those of you who haven't had a chance to talk to David, that is his daily driver. He drives that car to work. He drives the car everywhere at home. Not only that, he has taken it to the last 3 national meets. It's the 3rd in a row. And congratulations. Okay, we're getting down to the good stuff here. The second to the highest award that is given, and one that is probably the most sought after in a lot of ways, is the Best of Show Award. And that award goes to Tom McKay and the C9 group. Tom, congratulations on a super award. Again, if any of you haven't had a chance to really inspect that car, you should. It is beautiful. Very, very well done, Tom. The other top award, and this goes to the car that is the top point getter of the entire meet, regardless of class, seniors included as well as other cars, is the WPC award. And this goes this year to Don Seeley for your CB. Don, congratulations on a beautiful car. That's yours. Congratulations, Don. Yeah, I know it is. Congratulations. Okay, Don. That can go ahead. Come on. You earned it. You earned it. Yes,
You want what you carry, that's all.
Congratulations, Don. Congratulations. Okay. You want to say something? You did.
I said the next time that we got that thing, I was going to drill holes in the bottom of it and plant it.
Frank and
I'm David Crockett.
Okay, Wally, do you have somebody taking a picture? Somebody didn't get one? Okay. Well, we're handing out the last of these plaques. There's a couple of other